Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny day, so I'm out here today. On the weekend, I went to Capital Fibrefest, and I did make sure that me and a friend of mine, anyway, that we got there early enough that we got the goodie bag. So I thought that I'd go through everything that I got at Capital Fibrefest and what it actually is. So essentially, the Capital Fibrefest is about 50 different selected yarn and yarn associated companies. So there was everything from people who do spinning, everybody who do weaving, yarn producers, indie dyers, there was roving, there was raw wool, you name it, it was there. It was quite incredible. So this is the first year I've been able to go, and it was quite exciting. Too much yarn, spent a lot of money, but zero regrets. So I'm going to show you what was in the goodie bag. First of all, is a couple of bags of wool pieces. Now I did initially think, oh, maybe it's a mini skein and I could make something out of it, but I think it's just wool ends, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I'll stuff something with it, who knows. If I was going to give the organisers, which are the Upper Hut Spinners and Weavers, I think, yeah, Upper Hut Spinners and Weavers group organiser, and it's their big fundraiser for the year, if this was a mini skein, that would be cool. Or if it was a something that was usable. Even they do have a charity drive so that you can make things and drop them off, and they drop them off for newborn babies, people in need, all of that kind of stuff. So if it was something like a mini skein with a challenge of use this and post whatever you made with it, or here's a pattern for a baby beanie, here's a skein of yarn to be donated, that would be kind of cool. Instead, it's just some yarn ends, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but I'll try and come up with something. Thimbles and Threads, which is a really lovely craft store in the Upper Hut. Put in a pen, nice pen. The Spinners and Weavers made all of these double pointed needle holders. I swapped with my friend because this was yellow colours and the other one was more red colours, and that's kind of how it goes with us. Scully's, really nice hand cream. They evidently donated a whole stack of these, and really beautiful hand cream filled with vitamin E, and just a lovely company. There was also a discount code that came with it. Creative Fibre magazine. Needle holder, made out of felt and some crochet flower on the top there. Chocolate bar, can't go wrong with a chocolate bar. And the save the date for next year's Fibrefest. There's a few other things like some stuff from the Upper Hut City Council, there's an arts map and that sort of thing. Now, I found out about Fibrefest this year because of my Auntie Joanne, and she had sent me through a link because Y Knits, which is a group I'd like to get involved in, we're running a knitting get-together that unfortunately I couldn't go to at the end of the day because of this guy here. He's picking up, but he's not had such good health of late. So they were organising a dinner and a bit of a day festival following the Capital Fibrefest, and that's how I found about Fibrefest. Now I've got all the dates for the next few years, so that's quite exciting. But I'll show you what I did get, and I'll try to go through it in order. I did get exactly what I wanted to get. I managed to hit up a couple of companies that I was looking at and following on Instagram, and that sort of things. But the first thing, skeins. Skeins yarn. I've bought a lot of skeins yarn. Their deal was amazing. This is 100% wool, 100 meters in each ball. So 10 balls of this yarn, $25. This is the double knit. Or was that on 30? This was either 25 or 30. I can't remember which one round. And the other one I got was 10 balls of 4-ply flight merino. So what am I going to do with this? Because I have to make sure that I've got a yarn in, yarn out policy. I have a lot of yarn. This will become a vest for my partner, and this is going to become one of those sleeve shawl wraps for my sister. I don't do neutrals. This is as close to a neutral that I do, but I've recently used the double knit version of this to make a baby blanket. It's stunning yarn, not worth letting this go. Then I saw my sister on the way back and she was like, oh, I want one of those things. I'm like, perfect, I've got the yarn for it. So those will happen. The next thing I did was got to Good Wool Hunting, which is a Greytown-based sock yarn specialist company. I bought 2 balls. This one looks bedraggled and this one still looks good. It's 2 balls of opal sock yarn made in Germany, because I wanted to hit them up because they're going to be the local sock yarn supplier. They're just a few, when they open their brick and mortar store shortly, it's going to be just a few doors down from where I work. And we've got a bit of a knitting crochet group going on, so that's going to be cool having them. And I've got a couple of ideas with the local creative community about what I would like to do with some of their yarn and the facility where I've been learning to crochet. So I bought 2 balls of this, really good price, $16 a ball, where I think it's more, it's definitely more than that on other websites that I've seen, but it's great yarn. This is man socks, this is lady socks, or at least what I'm calling it. I finished the first one this morning. Now it is not blocked, it is covered in dog fur, and it looks disheveled, but mostly what I've been trying to do is create a sock that won't come off in a gumboot. This is not it yet. I've tried knitting in some extra elastic, but I think it's just made it too baggy at the top. I'm going to try and thread in some shirring elastic and see if I can add some more there. I've put some extra ribbing around the foot to see if I can get it to grip the foot a little bit more. But other than that, it's basically just a ribbed sock. So that's number 1 done, and I'll get the other one done shortly. This is just on 4-ply needles, so this shouldn't take too long. This is just a couple of days pottering away, and there's more than enough yarn there. What I should do is get the wool winder out and the scales, split this into 2 balls, then I know how long I can make my socks. One of the other people I was talking to recommended always making your socks from the toe up, because that way you know how long you can make your socks, whereas I've been doing cuff down because I want to be able to make sure my socks fit around my ankles. Fat ankle problems, am I right? Anyway, so this is Greytown-based Good Wool Hunting. So Skeins Good Wool Hunting. Then the other one I was going to was the Kindly Dyer. I love the Kindly Dyer. She's a lovely lady, and she has all natural dyeing methods for her yarns. I specifically wanted to go to her for sock yarn this year because I've signed up for the Stephen West Mystery Sock Along, which requires 2 skeins of just a straight colour. These are not quite straight because they're hand dyed, but we've got a pink dyed with cochineal, however you say it. We've got an orangey one dyed with coreopsis and marigolds, which is nice because I've got both growing in the garden at the moment, and I'd like to know what mordant she's using, because every time I dye with marigold I get a green shade. And then I've got this one here, which is Madder Root, which is a cool orange colour. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to use for the socks. I was initially thinking this combination for the 2 skeins, and then I was thinking this combination, but I don't know. They all look so good together, so I'm very happy with those 3, and I'm not sure how I'm going to pick. The struggle's going to go. So the struggle bus is going to be there. These were $30 each, I think, which pricey, but it's hand dyed. There's 190 meters on each 100 gram skein. This is 80% merino, 20% nylon, and it's South Island merino, so that I know that it's locally sourced. Not locally, but you know, New Zealand sourced. So I can feel good about this. I enjoy her yarn. I enjoy her work philosophy. So this is what I was going for with the West Knits sock along. If I couldn't find yarns I wanted from her, it was going to cost more than that anyway for something that was my backup second choice. Then I came across a company called Dye Stock Yarns. I did not buy from her because I didn't know exactly how much I wanted, but she had a very beautiful bamboo silk merino blend. Not cheap, but oh, the squish. Very soft, very lovely. Wanted to make a vest. Couldn't work out if I was going to need 3 or 4 skeins on the go. decided I would take her card, grab some later when all of this is dealt with, because we're still not at the end. Then this was from AVALON Knits. So this is a sock kit. It's got one of those pre-knit up sock tubes on 64 stitches. 64 stitches is usually a little bit more than what I use, but it will make a longer sock. So I'm going to attempt the afterthought heels with this. Am I nervous about this? Yes, I am, because I'm just very nervous about doing this. There's one skein for the heel, toe, and top cuff. The rest is knit up. The piece is knit up from a skein of Mrs. Peacock yarns, so that's exciting. This was a $35 bundle, so not too bad for a pair of socks. The main part's been done on a circular sock machine, which is kind of exciting, but mostly I just wanted to give this a go. I'll try and record the process when I get started on it. Mostly at this point I'm still researching about the afterthought heels, because the afterthought heels still scare me. I'm just really worried about the picking up of the stitches, and it's a different heel thing. I don't like German short rows. I'm getting better at them. I do like a heel flap, but the problem with a heel flap is that it looks weird. I mean, it's more comfortable to wear, but it looks weird when you're looking at the sock. So I'm hoping that an afterthought heel works. Then the last thing I got, let's say last thing, this is from Man-Made Fibre. This is a merino mini skein kit, and this is the merino nylon blend mini sock skein kit. I picked up both of these from him because he just had the most vibrant, cool colors. Now, a lot of people were going with the fluorescent fibers. Not so sure I like that. Then there were a lot of muted tones, and it should be noted that these are the colors of all of my clothes. So when I saw these on walking in, initially I wanted to buy yarn from him because it was cool, interesting colors. They were bright and vibrant. He had a bright and vibrant rainbow beanie on. So my plan is to make a pair of rainbow socks and a rainbow beanie, and I'm just going to send him the pattern, because one of the things he's got a few of bundles with the pattern and the skein of yarn there. I design patterns, so I figured I've got half a thought about how to make this hat work and how to make it look, but the colors are going to go in this direction. He does his hats top down. I do mine brim up. So I need to ball these up and then start working on this, and then ball these up into smaller balls so that these are not the same colorway, but they're far enough apart that you get the idea that it's rainbow. So that was quite cool. So that's that. I went to Capital Fibrefest. I spent too much money, but will I go again? Yes, 100% I will go again. Am I disappointed about not being able to get to the Wine Knits dinner? Yeah, totally, because that was going to be amazing as well. So I need to send them an email and apologise profusely. He's looking better, but he is officially on his last legs. He's a very old dog and he's disguising it right now. Yeah. Anyway, I will enjoy the rest of this sunny day and do some knitting in the sun, and then potentially do some weeding of the vegetable garden in behind. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I shall see you in the future. Happy knitting.